Hello and happy Halloween. No, we're not actually playing Silent Hill. We are instead doing something a little different. I recently was introduced by one of my pals to a video by a popular YouTuber called Punchy Second, who did this speedrun challenge to see how quickly he could find a toilet in Resident Evil and in all the Silent Hill games. And he's a speedrunner. I'm not. I'm not really very good, but I do like Silent Hill. It's my favorite video game series. I'm very passionate about these games. So I had this thought. So what else could I do if I wanted to do something similar to this? Um, and what else do people need besides a toilet? Like a bathroom is important, but what if you needed? What if you're running around a lot, like Harry here, looking for your daughter in Silent Hill, and you needed a cold drink? So you need to find a vending machine to get yourself like a Coca-Cola or something, or a bottle of water. So, yeah. And the stipulation here is that you can't just have any old beverage. It has to be a cold drink from a vending machine. So we have to start running around and looking. So I played through all of the Silent Hill games that I have. I'm not going to probably play Shattered Memories. I might try to have that on here. At when you see this, if it's here, then I did it. But apparently, I have a hard time streaming it, and I have a hard time getting it to run on emulator software. So we'll see what happens. And I don't ever play Book of Memories, so I'm not going to play that one. But I went through all the Silent Hill games to look for a vending machine in the fastest time possible. I'm not a speedrunner, so like I said, if you are and you'd like to take up this challenge to try to get to the vending machines that I found, or if you know of a closer vending machine and you want to try to beat my times and show me, I'd be more than happy to see that. I'd be really excited to see what you could do. Let me know in the comments or post a link to your own video or something and let me know. So yeah, Harry's Adventure was the first one I started with, good old Silent Hill 1. And another thing I did here, I'm not going as fast as I could possibly go either, because sometimes I'm like looking at cutscenes and stuff, and I'm not taking just to hear dumb dialogue like that I enjoy from these games and stuff. So we're running around and stumbling in the dark. So I did know of a vending machine in most of these games going into them where they were. I know that there's one in the hospital in this game, but I was hoping, thinking there was probably one sooner. So we went on the whole adventure. Harry had his whole adventure, woke up in the cafe. No vending machines outside his cafe. Something strange is going on in this town. Fought birds. We ran around in Silent Hill for a while. Looking, I know how to get all the keys quickly, do all this stuff. No vending machines. So we ran all the way to good old Midwich Elementary. And I was kind of hoping that, maybe there'd be a vending machine in the school, because that follows most schools I've went to have had a vending machine, right? But, unfortunately, as it turns out, Midwich does not. It's very Japanese school design, first of all, and it's also very bare. This was PlayStation 1 era. The environments are not terribly detailed. So there wasn't anything. So we did a whole run through the school and the Nightmare School. I call this Metal Grate Land because everything's rusty metal grates in here. Yeah, I'm very professional skipping through my video, I know. But that's what you get. And then I did a very clean run of the lizard fight here that I'm going to show you just because I'm very proud of this. This is the best I've ever done. Maybe not the best I've ever done this, but it's definitely up there with my favorite runs of having gone through some of the boss fights. I am very proud of myself having accomplished a few things. So despite the me reloading in the middle of the battle, the rest of this went very smooth and good. This was the first boss fight I ever encountered in Silent Hill, and it's really weird. This really sets the stage for what the whole game is like, right? This thing. Because you've met all these weird creatures, but this is the first boss, and it's really weird. And you read about it in a fairy tale. But yeah, bunch of shots, put him in there, put him in his place, and then get him to open up, and one shot, pop, pop, and he's done. I think I did two there. I think I might have missed the first one. But yeah, so clean, no damage. Moved on. Ran around outside for a while, met crazy old Dolly Gillespie in the church, and she asked me about gyromancy. Then, we had this brilliant idea that there was this garage over here, And I decided to check that out because I was thinking maybe there's a vending machine around in and around there. But no, this is just an auto garage where people work on their cars. No vending machines there. So we had to cross the bridge and get across everything. Oh, and go meet Dr. Kaufman in the hospital at good old El Camilla to get down to the one and only vending machine that I do know exists at the end of the hall here by the elevators that you just saw a second ago because I was skipping around too fast to get to Harry's favorite vending machine to get a cold one. And then I got to this at approximately 55 minutes into the video. So there we go for Silent Hill 1 and done. In the same video, I have a little trip down to Silent Hill Origins because that to me was the next one on the list. The good old story of Mr. Travis Grady and his adventures running through pretty much the same kind of Silent Hill. If original Silent Hill, I think, is supposed to take place kind of in the 90s. This was supposed to take place in like the 70s or 80s. I think it's 10 years before the original Silent Hill, right? Or no, it'd be 7 years. Because it's been a long 7 years. So after some futzing with the controls of the PSP, we went to the burning house to save Alessa. And my thought here was go through this first part of the game and we'll get to the El Camino Hospital, go find that exact same vending machine that we found before. So Travis saves the girl, goes through the house, goes to the hospital, and on an adventure. And unfortunately for me, there was no vending machine. They had replaced it with a file cabinet, or they hadn't installed it yet, I guess. It'll be 7 years later. And despite Dr. Kaufman being significantly younger, he didn't have anything to tell me about vending machines either. He has too much business to attend to. So, Travis was depressed and unhappy. Dr. Kaufman suggested I go check out reception, so we did. And lo and behold, in the lobby of the hospital, there was a vending machine. Old 80s style vending machine for Travis to get himself a delicious beverage. Looking no worse for the wear. And it only clocked in at about 20 minutes into the video. So 55 minutes for Silent Hill 1, 20 minutes for Silent Hill Origins isn't a bad run. Next on our agenda was the adventures of Mr. James Sunderland trying to find a dead wife in Silent Hill. Of course, this is the original. I will be playing the remake later on when we get to it. So James starts out with this lovely little roadside rest stop here, and after a brief moment of using the bathroom and reading the letter from his wife, we looked around here for the aforementioned vending machine. Unfortunately, there's just a bathroom in James's car, so James had to make the old long trip down the road into Silent Hill looking for a vending machine. Now at this point, I was kind of hoping there'd be a vending machine on the main streets of Silent Hill. I don't remember in this game. This is one of the games where I had no clue what I was looking for. I played Silent Hill 2 like crazy back in the day, trying to get like all the endings and all the achievements and everything for it. I had this game pretty much down to a science, but no idea where there's a vending machine. There's not one required for progress. It's just James in the town. So we did what any red-blooded American would do, got some plank and ran around the town a bit, went and looked for a hole that was here and is gone now. One of the things I did have for some of these games, Silent Hill 2 and Silent Hill 3 particularly, I had New Game Plus mode unlocked because I'd played before. So I have special weapons like the chainsaw that make things go a little bit quicker and easier on ourselves. I also am playing this on the Silent Hill HD remaster that everybody hates on the Xbox 360 just because it's the easiest version for me to get working in short order instead of trying to download a PC port of Silent Hill. There's some great... the Silent Hill fan remake is much better. I forget what it's called. Like Silent Hill 2 Remastered or something like that. It's on... I did it on stream a couple years ago on Twitch. Anyway, there was no vending machine to be found in Silent Hill, so James did his whole usual trip to the old Woodside apartment building, and after a little adventure ran around in the stairways, there wasn't any vending machines here, which I didn't think there would be. Now, there was one thing in this apartment building that James could drink, and that was the, I talked a little bit about this earlier, getting used to the tank controls on the old controllers and these old games. I talked a little bit about this earlier, that James finds himself a lovely pack of canned juice in the middle of this apartment building. But this juice has been sitting out forever, and who wants to drink lukewarm canned juice when you get yourself a nice cold Fresca? So nothing good happened there. So we went on an adventure, got some coins in a puzzle, and then we fought the Pyramid Man in the stairway. After dying once, because Pyramid Man is a jerk, I did one of the cleanest runs of Pyramid Head fight I've ever done in my life. Got him stuck over there in the wall, and then he barely made his way back on screen before he died. This just warms my heart. Yes, it's just James firing blankly into the darkness with his gun, but, like, I didn't even have to move this entire fight one time, and it just makes me happy. I mean, no one's ever said that this was a difficult boss fight, but I died the first time because he got me stuck between the stairwell and his escape route and hit me with his big knife before he left. Pyramid Head, dead and gone. James went off to meet Maria, and hopefully, I thought maybe in the second half of the game there would be a vending machine, because you get to go run around more parts of the town, places like the Jack's Inn and the bowling alley, where, very likely there'd be a vending machine. So after Maria got stuck, we went and checked out Jack's Inn, to which there is no vending machine. It's very boring here, just a bunch of buildings. James had to go rescue Maria, and then, with the lady finally in tow, we went over to the old Texon gas station, where there was this little drink cooler that says cold drink on it, which honestly I consider to be good enough. So about an hour into Silent Hill 2, 1 hour, James Sunderland finally gets himself old-fashioned cold drink and then shot Maria. We'll see you in the next game. Ah yes, Silent Hill 3. Probably my least favorite entry of the mainline Silent Hill games that we had originally made. I find this game to be punishingly difficult, even at the best of times. I am playing on easy here just for the sake of making progress. And unfortunately, the first half hour of my recording or so, I'm giving myself at least a half hour penalty. I think that's about how long it was to get to this point where I'm in the Otherworld version of the mall. Got lost because I didn't record. I forgot to hit record, and I did not feel like starting this game over just for no reason. There was no vending machines in the mall. I was kind of hoping. I know there's one about halfway through the game in the little office building that Heather gets to on her way home, but I was hoping we'd get there before we get a vending machine in the mall and get this over with quickly, so we wouldn't have to endure this game. But no dice. Most of the time Heather spends in the mall is spent in back alleyways, the back alley areas behind places, and then also in these areas of the mall where there just isn't that much stuff. And then you go down the elevator to the Otherworld Metal Greatland Mall, and then it's just all wrecked. And I wouldn't want to. If I was Heather, I wouldn't want to drink a beverage I got from this area. Anyway. So, with the dodging of Hot Dog Susan and all of the dogs, Heather made her way around the mall, collected all the things she needed to open doors and have a successful time, got herself a walnut, shot a giant worm, and then the screen went white. Unfortunately, you don't get to check out this part of the mall, and then we were on to the subway system. I was really hopeful that in the subway there might be a vending machine, because that's where you find it in Silent Hill 4. But these people, despite having a bunch of trash cans and fire extinguishers and whatever else they've got here, don't have a vending machine. So after a little subway adventure with her flamethrower, Heather met up with some insane cancer and then got a shotgun, made the insane cancer man dance, and then rode the train home. And I learned for the first time in my life that on easy mode, there's no insane cancer in the middle of the train, and it's actually a pretty boring train ride. Just a couple of these guys, and then Heather reaches her destination, which is the terrible like underground underwater sewer area that also doesn't have any vending machines. Big surprise. So after running around and getting some kerosene, meeting the fairy that gives you the gold and silver pipe, because I had to do this, even though it's defeating the purpose of speedrunning, I just found this absolutely hilarious, and had to do it anyway. Heather finally arrived at the old whatever this place is called office building. Now I didn't remember where the vending machine was in here. I just know that there's one eventually you have to get to solve a puzzle. So we ran around to Monica's dance studio and all the good places in here, and got ourselves a rope in the office so we could go down a ladder. And then finally got down to the second floor, and I was at this point starting to figure out what to do. And then I saw it. There's a save point over here with this vending machine. And this is about an hour and 22 minutes into this recording, plus another half hour gives me an hour and 52 minutes to find a vending machine in Silent Hill 3, which to me is altogether too long and our record for the series so far. On to the adventures of Mr. Henry Townsend in the city of South Ashfield. Henry Townsend, as you might recall, is locked inside his apartment and can't leave, so he doesn't have any kind of vending machines available to him at this current time, just weird nightmare dimensions. So, after calling around a little bit and being trapped in his apartment, Henry decided that he had to go out on an adventure to meet Eileen in person and get himself a cold Mountain Dew. Now, fortunately for Henry, he has the benefit of having a refrigerator in his apartment, and if he wants a cold drink, he's got some chocolate milk and a bottle of wine stashed away for emergencies. But Henry doesn't want that. He needs that caffeinated goodness that you can only get from the powers of vending. So, this one is an easy one. I knew it was going to be an easy one. There's a vending machine in the subway world that you have to get to advance the game. So after going into his bathroom and crawling through the magic hole in the wall, Henry found himself in the old subway system, wherein Cynthia decided she was going to try to do him a special favor. After losing Cynthia and running around for a little while in the old, having to go back and forth to the apartment a couple times to get the Lynn Street line coin and fight some dogs, Henry finally went down the old subway platform and running past some spooky ghosts, and after only about 14 minutes into the video, this one was decided. He didn't save Cynthia from her dream. Instead, he got himself the €1 coin vending snack. Now that I think about it, that's actually a snack machine, isn't it? Oh well. And so, on to Silent Hill Homecoming, the proverbial black sheep in the Silent Hill family, and a game I'm not particularly enthusiastic about. This game was a bit of a stumbling block for this challenge, because I don't like playing it very much. So after slogging through the hospital level at the beginning, where there were no vending machines, and getting to Silent Hill proper, Shepherd's Glen proper, excuse me, because you're not in Silent Hill, I had the sneaking suspicion that there might not be any vending machines in this game that I could recall seeing. I thought maybe they might show up in Curtis's junkyard or the police station. Fortunately, a friend was helping me with this challenge and decided to look up this particular game to see if there were any vending machines. And lo and behold, according to at least some places on the internet, it wasn't easy to find information about this game. There are vending machines in this game. You can only access them after you've already beat the game and they show up inside Alex's family garage. This is New Game Plus mode, but there weren't any vending machines in his family garage. So I really have no idea. Personally, I'm just going to call this one a wash. If you have played this game, or if you want to play this game and try to find vending machines in Silent Hill Homecoming, be my guest. As for me, I'm going to go play Silent Hill Downpour. I like that one. Ah yes, The Adventures of Mr. Murphy Pendleton, ex-convict extraordinaire, and his escape from Silent Hill after going to Silent Hill in a prison bus crash. We're picking this up about 45 minutes into the story, making this, spoiler alert, the longest one where I needed to find a vending machine run in all of the Silent Hill games. But I also partially attribute that to the fact that this is the longest gameplay runtime game that they've made. Because we as a society have evolved to the point where we don't want our games to be over in a couple hours after starting them. We want to continue to play them and have lots of content, which is why they've tripled the length of the original Silent Hill 2, which I could have beaten like probably 4 hours, and now it takes like 12 or however long. Or there's that challenge to beat it another 10, I guess, that I haven't ever done. But we'll talk about that a little bit more when we get to the Silent Hill 2 remake. Anyway, this game I'm picking up here because I was an idiot and forgot to record. But the entire thing that happened was that this game starts out at a gas station right after you get in your little prison bus crash after watching a bunch of unskippable cutscenes. And I was thinking, oh, hey, Murphy's going to get a chance to get a vending machine right away, and this will be over quick, and I won't have to play anymore because the next part of this game is kind of a slog. No, there was no vending machines in that gas station, so I went through the whole next part, going to the diner, running around from the Red Void, and looking for stuff, and there was no vending machines anywhere, so we had to go to the Devil's Pit, which is fortunately a tourist location. And I'm thinking, well, at least maybe there's vending machines here. No. So we have to go through the entire stupid cave system. There's this whole area here with the tourist information, and Murphy has to turn the power on. And I was thinking, tourism, right? You can find vending machines, look through your magic little oscilloscope, you'll find them. But no, unfortunately, Murphy has to go on a little adventure to the Devil's Pit. So, after solving annoying water spout puzzles that I forget how to play every single time I play this game, and running around in the cavern and down elevators and having to fight the stupid things that jump around on the ceiling, we met Mr. J.P. Sater, who couldn't tell us anything about where vending machines were, and instead just got mad at Murphy's attempts to call him a coward. Fortunately, there were no vending machines anywhere, just these guys, who I really, really hate. But then at least Murphy was able to go on a little train ride. And finally, after the weirdest sequence in a Silent Hill game, I will, that gives me more like Half-Life vibes, where you ride the train and weird things happen. Murphy got to go to Silent Hill. And I was hoping maybe there was at least a vending machine on this end of the Devil's Pit, but there isn't. And I am an idiot because I made one very critical error that extended the life of this playthrough by a lot. I forgot to grab the map. And I knew there was a vending machine you have to do for side quests, and I basically knew where it was, but I don't know the layout of this town as well as some of the other games. So I needed that map, and I didn't have it. So after a lot of countless running around, up and down alleys, backtracking to get the map, climbing up ladders, and going across these narrow platforms, because, that's my favorite thing to do. Murphy did a little breaking, entering into an apartment building, got his stuff, met up with Mr. Howard the mailman, who couldn't put his damn bag down for starters. We went down an alleyway, and lo and behold, chocolate! Now this is a candy bar vending machine, so Murphy can't get himself something to drink, but you know what? A refreshing chocolate bar is good enough. Murphy gets his reward. This is 33 minutes into this particular video. They were all split out. This one took about, I want to say, 2 hours. We'll clock it in at about 2 hours to get to this vending machine. Now, at first, I wasn't so sure about Silent Hill Shattered Memories as a viable place to play, if it would even work on the PlayStation. But this PlayStation 2 emulator port I found of it actually was pretty good. So I went through the opening stuff with the psychiatrist. I was actually able to skip a lot forward, more than I thought. This game is kind of a cozy comfort game for me. It plays a lot different than a lot of the other Silent Hill games. But the people I was also showing this to hadn't seen it before, because I hadn't been able to play this on Twitch years ago when I played the other game. I played through all the other Silent Hill games on Twitch a couple years ago, and I didn't get to play through this one. So we were kind of like, having a rough go of things a bit. And I didn't want to spoil too much of the game for them. But fortunately for me, Silent Hill Shattered Memories has a bonus in it. Right in the beginning, Harry's in his little car crash, and you end up at a gas station. And this gas station, after running around through these hallways with the toilets and there are some drinks in there that don't count. There was these drink coolers. Now, at the time, I was like, this doesn't count. I can't do this. But you know what? Cold beverage for Harry. This is only 4.5 minutes in. Good job, Harry. You got yourself a drink. There's also those coolers. There's probably plenty of cold drinks in here. Harry gets to have a reward. A nice, delicious farmer's ale. Have one for the road. And last, but certainly not least, we have the updated adventures of Mr. James Sunderland in Silent Hill 2 Remake that just came out last year and was one of my favorite games. As I mentioned, I won't be doing Silent Hill F. I am not playing Silent Hill F because, and I might have talked about this earlier in the video, I think I did, because it's not my game. It's not a Silent Hill game made for someone like me. It's Silent Hill made for modern generations of people and not me. So anyway, James here has the easiest time of anybody looking for stuff at Silent Hill. He just has to get to Silent Hill. Now, I had already played this once and failed to record it properly, so I knew exactly where I was going and was able to do things quickly. So after the nice little long walk down Silent Hill's nice foggy path with cornfields and everything else, doing a little breaking and entering to get himself a key, and then go into the foggy streets of our favorite town, running around, going into people's houses at night, getting himself a piece of wood. James is finally able to achieve his goal by going to the friendly neighborhood laundromat where they always have 24-hour vending machines. Now, thank you for coming along with me on this adventure. This one clocks in at just over 10 minutes, making it the quickest one of all of them, giving us some detailed environments and some nice things to look at. Hope you have a nice Halloween. Enjoy yourselves. Do something spooky for you and your friends. And like I said before, if you want to go try to beat these times, and if you know of vending machines I don't know about, please feel free to tell me in the comments. We'll see you next time. Happy spooky season.